about the plain packaging, because I know this is one of the recommendation in the report, and we have seen what should be plain packaging for cannabis, and I was surprised to see how it is called plain packaging, but it is quite different than what we are going to have for tobacco. So I'm curious. I want to hear you on that. Is that what you had in mind when you suggested and recommended plain packaging, or should it be closer than what we are doing for tobacco?
Mark, why don't you take that first?
Sure. Well, there are people far more expert than I think I am, and probably Ms. McLellan as well, in terms of developing and designing plain packaging. What we think we've seen, and in my consultation subsequently with people who are experts in marketing, recognize that this does appear to be a reasonable approach to informing people of the potential risks, of avoiding the use of potentially promotional gimmicks, colors and so on, and also making sure that people are aware that these products contain THC. Also the quantity of THC, and this gets back to the earlier question, that is something that people need to learn, is how much does 5 milligrams of THC represent in terms of a dose, in terms of frequency, and that's only going to be possible when we have a framework where we understand the range of products that are available and they can be clearly and adequately labeled.
Thank you. I did not read anything about, I'm curious and concerned about the 18 to 25 age group, because a lot of the health expert and professional have really emphasized how, the developing brain until 25, and I understand that the bill calls for 18 as a legal age of consuming, but to me there seems to be this vulnerability, this specific vulnerability for this group, and so I wonder if this is something that was discussed, or if this was and if it should be addressed either in regulation, in the maybe not advertising, but awareness campaign, or if we should target and protect specifically that age group, and how it should be done.
We spent a great deal of time on age, right, Mark? That was one of the biggest issues with which we dealt. We had very thoughtful submissions from a wide range of people, as you can imagine, including the CMA, the Canadian Nurses Association, and others. They're all available on the public record. But at the end of the day, we had to balance some realities, if you like. What are those realities? One, the biggest age cohort of users in the country is 18 to 25. So if you jack that age up to 21 or 25, you're completely undermining the purpose of legalization and regulation in the first place, or one of the purposes, which is to try and keep that big age cohort of individuals out of the criminal justice system, out of the legal system generally. We know they're going to use. I mean, we can't be naive. They are users now with a criminal prohibition. They are going to continue to use, and therefore let's accept that reality. Let's have a safe supply that they can purchase that isn't cut with things like fentanyl. We've had at least one case of that in Ontario, I believe. Let us understand that, as I've said in my opening remarks, that in the society in which we live, 18 is the demarker of young adulthood. Now, we knew that provinces would wish to be symmetrical with their drinking age. So in my province, it's 18. In Quebec, it's 18. In other provinces, it's 19. But 18 is basically societal, social demarker for young adulthood, the age at which we trust people to vote, the age at which we trust people without their parental consent to join the military and die for their country. So we actually believe that with the right public information, that young adult at 18 could make the decision as to whether he or she should consume some amount of cannabis in whatever form.
Thank you.
Am I done?
Yeah, you're done.
Okay.